Most of the time, most people compare themselves to others and put themselves down. And it's hilarious because, especially in our world, there's a myth that says if you're over a certain age bracket, you can't get better. And then we see clients who have been diagnosed with ME, CFS, who are in their 50s and 60s, who have been sometimes suffering for 10, 20 years, get better. And that myth is broken. What if you believe that it was possible for you too? How would that change the game for you if your story just changed to, what would my life be like if I believed that recovery was possible for me too? What do you think happens as a result of believing that story of possibility? It's not that you just sit there all day and you go, I believe it's possible for me to get better. I believe it's possible for me to get better. You can do that if you want. But I know a lot of people aren't into that, and I get it. I don't think you should sit there and sing Kumbaya all day. But here's what does happen when you start to believe that possibility. You start to act differently. You start to behave differently. You start to do things differently. And when you do things differently, you create change. And when you create change, you create effect. And when you create effect, your life changes as a result of that. And we see this all the time. Now, does it happen overnight? For a lot of people, no, it doesn't. But you fundamentally get to make that choice. But you really need to do an inventory of your stories. What are you believing that is keeping you stuck? What are you believing that is limiting you? You might not even be aware that you're creating a story. They're so habitual. They're so habitual that it's like eating breakfast and brushing your teeth. That's how habitual it's become for you. But check those stories. Are they serving you? Maybe they're keeping you stuck. What are you believing about the future? Well, I've seen so many times now over the last decade and a half of people who are scared to get better. That's another story. Like, it's scary to get better. What happens if I get better and then I have to deal with life? That's a reality for some people. Again, everyone's story is different, but check your stories. We know for a fact that the people that get better, they're ones that change their stories to where they want to go, to focusing on what they do want, not what they don't want. And this almost sounds too simple. You're like, it can't be that simple. Simple doesn't mean it's easy. And there's a big difference there. A lot of people, oh, that's just too simple. I'm not even going to bother. My suggestion to you is, well, imagine if you did start to change your story and did the easy, simple stuff that might seem too easy, but it's actually not. It just takes work, but it's very simple. You do not need to add complexity to an already hard and complex situation. It's really asking for simplicity.